Hello, and the question is whether or not you should move to where your former work colleague has moved to. You mentioned you feel the need to get away from the women that you work with so that this former colleague communicates with you directly as opposed to what appears to be him communicating with others in your workplace. You said you used to chat daily as friends. He's aware of your feelings towards him. That you're willing to move. But that you're waiting until your son's a little bit older so that he can drive. And that you're divorced about a year now. Okay. With that said, clear messages for the current regarding this connection and guidance as to next steps. So you've got the World, Three of Wands, Seven of Swords, Queen of Pentacles in reverse, the Lovers in reverse, Six of Cups, Ten of Pentacles, the Tower, the Star, Ace of Swords, and we'll pull an answer card as to whether or not you should move. Okay, so the immediate answer to that question is a maybe. It's something that you'll definitely have to consider very carefully. You want to take your time with this major decision. There could be some big impacts as a result. Temperance here reminds you to make sure that everything that you do, you think through carefully and that you take a balanced approach, okay? Temperance speaks to making sure that you're grounded but also open to change. So it's kind of you know, again, just going back to being balanced, being thoughtful, being careful, listening to your higher self, listening to your guides as well. We will pull Oracle at the end of this reading here. So in the present position, I see that you've got the World here. You're certainly desiring to start new. Maybe you're looking at reinventing your life. Maybe you are also, while you may be having some challenges with this connection, generally speaking, you could have a very positive outlook and even feel like you're on top of the world, you know, at times or most of the time. The World could also signify completion, closing of old cycles or beginning of new cycles. In the Challenge, you have the Three of Wands. So you're certainly thinking again about growth. The Three of Wands could also indicate a potential, you know, third party, honestly. The Three of Wands, more broadly speaking, is also about, again, having put in some thought to something and actually starting to take those steps forward. Okay, so it's about expanding, you know, your horizons, your perspectives. And so because this is in your challenge position, you know, these are all the different possibilities, and there could be more. In the recent past, I do see the Seven of Swords. So the Seven of Swords is an interesting card. In the past, you may have suffered some kind of deception or betrayal. There may have been some information that you were not immediately made aware of, okay? And it's something that probably could have, you know, certainly impacted you. So this could speak to like secrets. It doesn't necessarily have to involve this person, but I think that it may, given, you know, the context of the reading here. The Seven of Swords could also speak to strategy. So perhaps there was something you were thinking about in the past, and trying to strategize around, you know, what comes next or what you're going to do, what's going to inform your future. I think that, you know, looking at these cards a little bit more broadly, this does speak to some fears, okay? Concerns regarding this move and maybe where you're going to end up financially speaking, because I do see the Queen of Wands here in reverse. And the Queen of Wands is a very organic, you know, earthy energy. Her feet are very firmly planted to the ground, but she appears in reverse here. So you could have some concerns with that more earthy, organic kind of, you know, connected to the ground way of being disrupted by this move, or perhaps you're not feeling very grounded at the moment, or perhaps you're not even quite aware of that. And I point back to the world because in the imagery here you have this woman that is kind of floating a little bit, so perhaps just the way that you're feeling, again, is this bigger than life, on top of the world kind of feeling, could potentially be as a result of, what is to come, in that there could be some instability of some sort, because we've got the pentacles here, and the pentacles do speak to the materialization of things, okay? So it speaks to the concrete, things that we have in our life, the material realm. So there could be some financial impacts, financial upset. There could also just be a lack of this earthy, organic, kind of firmly planted to the ground kind of energy, potentially. So you've got the Lovers here in reverse, and this is about making decisions, okay? In this position here, this is what's on your conscious mind, okay? It's also what you may be presenting to others, whether you're conscious of that or not. It's the energy that you're exuding. So with the Lovers here in reverse, you could be acting, you could be in love, clearly. This is about another person. You could be seeking, again, harmony and connection, and you're really kind of just putting that out there as what it is that you desire. But it could potentially also be not being, again, firmly, connected to the ground, and kind of having some like illusions and some, dreams and hopes and things like that are not, they're not concrete, okay? And perhaps this is what those that are closest to you are picking up on as well. So at the heart of the matter, this is your internal space. This is what's really driving you, okay? This is what's in your subconscious mind. You've got the Six of Cups here, and the Six of Cups energy is a lot about reminiscing, okay? It's about thinking about the past, having difficulties, letting go with the past. It's about love, ultimately. Kind of thinking back to happier times, a past connection, someone that you feel may even be like a soulmate, but something that was certainly in the past, okay? Happier times, happier memories. So the advice here with the Ten of Pentacles, I think, is a bit of a mindset change. The Ten of Pentacles is a card of success. So it could mean a couple of things. It could mean, make sure that you are, well, for starters, grounded, and that you are thinking positive thoughts, okay? That you are building yourself up in this manner. The Ten of Pentacles could also speak to, the more practical things, really focusing on longevity here. You're focusing on material gains, focusing on success, focusing on, again, it's more of that long-term kind of energy with this card. So you want to think about, legacy, okay? Leaving things behind for your family. You want to think about being in a good place, enough that you can support others, okay? You did mention you have a son. Perhaps this card also speaks to making sure that, he's okay and that he has what he needs as well. The external influence here is a Tower moment, okay? So I think this is a great card for this position. This is something that you could be experiencing now. This is something that could come in the very near future. And with the Tower here, if anything at all has been built on any kind of false or shaky foundation, whether these are, like false information, or if this is like just something that's not true, any kind of lies, that's all going to come apart. This Tower then is going to fall down, okay? It'll be painful. It might really knock the wind out of you. It could come hard and fast, okay? Because the Tower is the fastest card in the deck, okay? So it could be painful, and it could come rather suddenly. But, in the hopes and fears position, you've got the most beautiful card of hope here. You've got the Star. And the Star is about really evaluating things, taking that time to care for yourself. This is a card of deep personal transformation. Okay, this is a woman that or an energy. You know, tarot is genderless, but the imagery here, this is of a woman that has completely shed everything. She's shed everything that doesn't serve her, things that are false, things that are not true, okay? And in fact, within the tarot, the Tower moment does lead to the Star. So there's that flow here, that after a difficult period of time, you are going to come out of this successfully. You're going to have hope. You're going to have that transformation. You know, this, again, it's a very beautiful card, particularly for this, you know, position here with hopes and with fears. And with a potential outcome here, you do have some sort of breakthrough moment. Something new is going to start. It's a period, it's certainly a new cycle, a new beginning. The Ace of Swords here, it speaks to a communication. So whether you're making the communication or you're going to be receiving a communication, I know that this is something that you probably are hopeful for here, and something that's surely guaranteed to come. The Ace of Swords is also, at times, again, with that breakthrough moment, it's kind of like an aha. It's kind of like, okay, it's a new thought. There's some new, maybe information, new analyses, new, you know, it's definitely a new energy, okay? It's something that's going to drive one forward. So, again, with the answer card here, you've got Temperance. You know, generally speaking, Temperance is certainly a positive response, more so than anything else. But as I said, you know, just considering all of the cards, if you do decide to make this move, just know that there's going to be maybe a period of difficulty. Could be with the move itself, could be after the move, could be right before the move. And so at some point, though, you may suffer, or perhaps you're kind of going through it now, some instability, more so with the material realm, okay? Maybe finances, work-related projects or matters. With the Seven of Swords here, you could be kind of fighting, if you will, or it could be some fighting within the workplace as well. But there will be, you know, again, some change here, and you'll end up in a very good position, okay? So let's pull some oracle cards here for you as well. These are messages from spirit guides. Okay? You've got decisions. You have to connect with your higher self to make some firm decisions here. Got to make sure that you have self-control. Self-control also includes mastery of your emotions, okay? So this too speaks to connecting with the higher self, and you can obtain self-control as well as clarity into the decisions that need to be made by doing some inner work, some grounding, okay? You have this figure here who is seated. This is grounding. He's tapping into his or her higher self by grounding themselves, okay? We'll pull one more for you. Oh, two wanted to come out. They're kind of stuck. All right, so just be careful because I am seeing the deceit card here, so there's something here you may not be aware of. Again, I was just mentioning that with the Seven of Swords here, a betrayal, some kind of deceit. It could be something that is taking place in the workplace. It could be there's something here that needs to be clarified. I think that with the oracle here, I mean, the message is clearly that it's not so much about strategy as I mentioned earlier, but rather there is certainly some kind of betrayal or deceit here, something that if you're not aware of it, but you should be, again, because this being in the past position, it may be something that is still kind of lingering, okay? Something that may still have a hold of you, that it's impacting the future here with the Queen of Pentacles in reverse, okay? And you've also got restriction. So restriction has a lot to do with limited thinking, self-limiting beliefs, beating yourself up. You know, it's that negative voice in someone's head. But the joy guides here remind you to let go of those, okay? If you're not aware of these self-limiting beliefs or restrictions, self-imposed restrictions, this is bringing it up to your awareness for resolution. Okay, that's all that I have for you. Thank you very much and best of luck.